let's continue improving our UI. One thing we haven't really taken into consideration is when we don't have any to-dos in the list. And when we're here, then there's like nothing here. All there is a create new button. It doesn't really make sense to me that you would have this. Really, what feels like the best UI to me is you would automatically be sent into the create new to-do state when there was no to-do there or no to-dos in the list. So let's do that. What we can do is go to our to-do app machine, open the visual editor, and we'll see that the bit that we're looking at is essentially this load to-dos. This, no matter what, it always sends us in the to-dos loaded state. And I think that's a problem because what we want to do is we want to first check to see if there are to-dos in the list, if it's loaded anything, and only then go to the to-dos loaded. Otherwise, we want to go into the creating new to-do state. So what we'll do for that is I'm just going to shufty some things around a little bit. Sorry for the Britishism, shufty. The way that we handle that, and we're really talking about if-else logic here. If-else logic is handled by guards in XState. And what we can do here is we can right-click this load to-dos here and we can add a guard. And that guard, as you'll see, what it does is it said, if new guard, then go to to-dos loaded. So we're going to say if has to-dos. And let's just sort of up this out of the way a little bit. And there we go. So we got our has to-dos just there. And in fact, I'll go and it's getting a bit crowded in the middle here. Perfect. So we've got our has to-dos here, and let's add another guard. And this is going to be the else guard. So if we have to-dos, then we go there. Otherwise, we go into the creating new to-do state. I'm just click and drag that over there. So we now need to say, okay, has to-dos. What does that mean? Well, that is a guard that we're going to need to specify inside our guards here. So we should say guards, and the guard is going to be has to-dos, and this is just a function where we have context and event. And you notice like there's two places we can check here. We can check on the context or we can check on the event. One is correct and the other is not correct. Which is it? Take 5 seconds, have a think about it. Okay. If it were on the context, it would mean that we'd be checking things kind of out of order, because as you can see here, we have an assigned to-dos to context kind of as part of the guard. So basically what happens is we check if there are to-dos and then we assign the to-dos to context. So what that means is that we shouldn't be checking this, we shouldn't be checking the context. We should be checking the value on the event, which is the data here. So we go return event.data.length is greater than 0. And this means that we have all the to-dos in our list, or we have at least one. So now that we've got that, let's just check in index.tsx. We've got no errors, that's great. And we'll check in our UI. So we're going to refresh the page, and you'll see now that it starts, or it appears to start, in the creating new to-do. Because if we simulate, it went through here, it loaded the to-dos, it worked out that we didn't have any to-dos, and we ended up in creating new to-do. So let's go back here. Let's say, and in fact, I'm just going to remove this error in the delete to-do, and I'll refresh the page. So again, we're in creating new to-do. Wow, save that. We now have a wow in there. And if we delete it, we're not going to be shown an empty screen anymore. We're going to go back into the creating new to-do state, because to run through this complicated flow again, we've got, okay, we don't have any to-dos. We create a new to-do. We save the to-do, go back there, load them again. We now have a to-do. We delete it. It's done. We reload them, and then we don't have any more. So we go back into the creating new to-do state. You notice again how simple it is to get these really complex flows working just with relatively simple primitives. Yeah, I really like XState. So that's kind of covers guards really, and guards, you can put them anywhere. They don't need to be on dones. They can be on afters. They can be on these on error invocations, on create news, or any of these events, anywhere that you can transition anywhere, you can add a guard there. And guards are really, really important ways of adding if-else logic into your state charts and your applications.